So the timeline to this apparently is a little bit more complicated than it was first reported to be. Apparently, he had asked for a trade several days beforehand to Chris Ballard. Had, I think, been told no, or at least it hadn't gone anywhere. And then Jim rocks up with the bus, which, I mean, I'm only looking at the outside of it, right? So who knows what it's like inside. But it doesn't look as fancy as Jerry's bus.
Oof.
I will say that. It looks older.
Jerry set the standard.
Yes. It looks older. It looks like, you could have upgraded to a newer model by now, and from, again, just billionaire mindset to billionaire. Just saying, Jim, it might be time to upgrade that bus. But anyway, maybe that's what did it, Maybe if you had Jerry's bus, Jonathan Taylor would have been suitably wowed. Anyway, the bus rocks up at practice. Jonathan Taylor goes on there for like an hour-long meeting.
Not Jerome Bettis, by the way, the actual bus.
Correct. Yeah. And then almost immediately after that meeting, requested trade publicly. And, yeah. So
the bus meeting was basically like, hey, we're not giving you any sort of extension.
Probably. Now, the Colts have a really weird history when it comes to paying running backs because, on the one hand, rather than pay Marshall Faulk, they traded him away. Rather than pay Eric Dickerson, they traded him away. Rather than pay Edge, they traded him away, albeit after like a 7-year contract, so it's not quite the same thing. On the other hand, they traded a first-round pick for Trent Richardson.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get to
right.
that one.
So it's like, how much do they care about running backs? Maybe they only care about running backs right out of the draft, like first contract, which would be a pretty like progressive and, foresighty type of opinion way back in the 80s and the 90s. On the other hand, maybe they just have a completely random-ass approach to running back deals, and there's no earthly way of projecting what they're going to do.
I mean, the consistent thread is the Ursays there.
Yes,
obviously.
that's what I'm saying. On the other hand, they also, by the way, there's one guy I think that they have paid off the back of his rookie contract, and it was Joseph Adai. So it's like...
Yeah, there's really no...
Yeah, rhyme or reason to it. Now, they didn't give... It's not like Adai was breaking the bank when they gave him money, but...
Right. But yeah, there's really no consistency there. I've also heard Bill Polian, I can't remember if it was what he said publicly, but he's all for...
or to you while he was haranguing you for being an idiot.
Listen, we've been in cordial meetings as well. We've been in some non-cordial meetings. We've been in cordial meetings in the same setting.
While Bill was calling me a moron.
Does he go by Mr. Polian? Do people just throw the Mr. on him like he's an owner?
Do you get anything?
Can we just get rid of all the Mr. stuff? They're all just human beings like the rest of us.
Well, if you're, it feels like, so this is like the America's version of, the knighthood system. The Sir Richard Attenborough, whatever, Sir Alex Ferguson. Like, you reach a billionaire status, you become Mr. But do they have like once you hit the Hall of Fame, it feels like you should have a prefix to your name?
No, you get a jacket.
You do get a jacket.
You get a jacket and a bust. Be happy with it. I'm not gonna be like Mr. Joe Thomas this weekend.
The videos are right there.
I'll do that, Mr. Thomas. We'll call him Mr. Thomas next time.
All the Hall of Famers like opening their jackets. They get mailed to them and stuff. And the fancy box that you open the box and the jacket is on a hanger like attached to it. It's very fancy. But Joe Thomas's video, he's opening it like on the trash can in his garage. It's like, come on, Joe. Look, this is some social media moment. Can you find a better pedestal for the thing?
Great. Joe's great. He knows what he's doing. As a 3-time Hall of Famer here, I have a jacket as well.
Oh.
Should I wear my Hall of Fame jacket this weekend? Hall of Fame weekend. Should I wear my Hall of Fame jacket?
Yes.
It is
ideally we need to get you
not tailored exactly properly. So just saying, we do anything for the comedy.
We need to get you interviewing an NFL Hall of Famer in your Hall of Fame ill-tailored jacket.
I will wear it to training camp and see if we run into Barry Sanders up in Detroit or something.
Incredible.
So we did not get the extra long sleeves or even just long sleeves.
Well, yeah, the not tailored part can go one of two ways, right? It's either we cover the length but not the width, or we cover the width and not the length.
None of it's good. None of it's good. But 3-time Hall of Famer here, I do have a jacket. What are we talking about here? Where did we go?
Jonathan Taylor and Jim Irsay.
Anyway, I was going to say Bill Polian was like, all these top running backs are in the Hall of Fame. Therefore, who cares if you spend a first-round pick on them? They're great players, So like he loved running backs. The Jonathan Taylor thing comes on the back of. Remember, so back up really quick, not to beat the whole running back horse again. Coming into this offseason, we said it's a very good running back class, especially at the top in the draft. And a lot of these top-name running backs are kind of hitting free agency.
Right.
Because I just saw people tweeting about, well, next year's running back class is going to look really good. It's like, no, it was this year's. And because there was a plethora of good running backs out there, draft and free agency. That's kind of what the leagues put their foot down and said, we're not doing that, right? We're just not playing that game anymore. We're out. So now Jonathan Taylor, who's still under contract, heading into the last year of his deal because he's a second rounder, he's heading into year 4. He wants to get paid. And even the Colts, like if the Colts gave him 12 or 13 million up in that Saquon Barkley range, it probably wouldn't even be egregious for the analytics people, but that's just not where the market is right now. So the Colts say no, and Jonathan Taylor's upset, just like Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley and everyone else. The rest of the running backs are upset.
The final turn of this, by the way, is that the Colts were then talking about putting him on the non-football injury list due to back pain that apparently was the result of some pre-report training camp thing, like a pre-existing back pain. Jonathan Taylor is going to come out and said, I've never had back pain. There is no back pain. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Get better sources. Essentially saying if they do put me on the non-football injury list, it's completely fake. Yeah. So essentially trying to put them in a bit of a bind. So they're not in a good place.
They also can't do that. I mean, he was working out just because he's not working out with the team in Indianapolis. It depends
how he does it, I think.
What?
It depends how he does it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like if he's falling off a three-wheeler or something like that, like those are the types of things. But also, if he's
just like playing basketball
or basketball, like those are the types of things that are in your contract,
right? But there's a bunch. No, there's so it doesn't just have to be a specified thing in the contract. Like you cannot ride wave runners, on a weekend.
Either way, the report, whether it's true or not, was that he was working out in Arizona.
Right. Anyway, so they're not in a good place. The question becomes, who's going to give up anything to trade for Jonathan Taylor? Which is the problem now, because you're not just trading for Jonathan Taylor. You're trading for Jonathan Taylor needing a new contract, or you're trading for Jonathan Taylor for 12 months.
See, I do wonder, so how good is Jonathan Taylor? He was let's use PFF WAR for a minute here, 6th most valuable running back as a rookie, most valuable running back in year 2 in 2021. Last year falls off. We see the grades up on the screen, 67 grade. Was not nearly as good. He's very elusive. I think if you're just saying who are the best pure runners in the NFL, I think Jonathan Taylor's right up there with Nick Chubb, maybe Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, just pure running part of the running back position. But remember, in 2021, Carson Wentz is the quarterback for the Colts. He has a mediocre season, right? He was took care of the ball. They scored a ton of points. If there are arguments for running back seasons that had huge impact, I'd put Jonathan Taylor's 2021 up there with some of the best seasons of the last 10 years as far as impact on their offense. Sure. Like your Derrick Henry years with the Titans, your Adrian Peterson years, year or two with the Vikings. So that's kind of what you'd be chasing there. But then the downside is last year when the offensive line falls apart and Taylor gets all beat up and he's missing games in the middle of the year, and the production falls off completely. That's the caveat with anything running back when it comes to investing.